Welcome back to Life with Retta, where we talk about all things solo travel, the good, the bad, and the downright weird. If you've ever scrolled through travel content or even here on YouTube and said, man, solo travel looks amazing. Well, there's certain things that people tend not to tell you, and you have come to the right travel channel, because I am going to tell you a couple of the stories as well as try and give you a tip of the day. So with that being said, let's get started with the tip of the day. All right, so tip of the day is to try and prevent travel's diarrhea. I don't think a lot of you understand that when you are traveling outside of the country, especially where your stomach has not been accustomed to, you have a high probability of getting traveler's diarrhea. I got my first dose of traveler's diarrhea in Peru. Did not think it would happen to me. I take the extra precautions, but guess what? It happened. So my tip is to make sure, one, you have some probiotics, taking them before and during your trip. Make sure you bring some Imodium as well as some electrolytes, or have it. All of this you can get while you're in your designated country, but it's also really nice to have it on hand so it doesn't interrupt your trip. That's the tip of the day. Stay hydrated. Today's episode, I am going to talk about some of my favorite restaurants. I'm only going to do 3, and then I really want to dive into how I got traveler's diarrhea and what occurred and how long did it happen for me. So I'm going to give you 3 restaurants I probably visited maybe 3 or 4 times over and over again. When you find a really good restaurant, it is a-okay to go back to that restaurant to see if it was a fluke. I was working while I was in Peru, and so one of my very first restaurants that I visited during my lunch break was Oliver's. It's in Barranco, where I was staying for almost about 2.5, almost 3 weeks. I think I stayed in Barranco for about 3 weeks. Barranco, Peru. I love that area. It is super duper it's super duper artistic, very colorful. If you are looking to be close to the action, but not where a lot of the tourists are, you are going to be around a lot more locals. And that's something that I wanted. It was very affordable, very safe. I really enjoyed all the restaurants and office buildings that were around me. The beaches wasn't too far from my Airbnb. Now, a lot of their beaches are not sand beaches. They do have quite a few rock beaches. I had to learn that as well while being in Peru. But when you do find a sand beach, it is absolutely gorgeous. It's so wonderful. I enjoyed every step of it. I enjoyed every bit of my experience in Peru. But while I was there, I wanted to make it a point to enjoy amazing food. And so I will do another video probably later on of all of my food recommendations, but today I'm just going to highlight 3 of them. The first one being Oliver's Restaurant. This restaurant was walking distance from my hotel. They had the most delicious chicken sandwich with fries, the most delicious drinks. I got appetizers there. I went back to that restaurant twice, and they're in this cute shopping center, which if you're needing additional things like a SIM card, or you want to go shopping, or even go to the grocery store, they have all of that within that nice little shopping mall center. It's absolutely beautiful. The next one was probably 5 minutes in walking distance from my Airbnb. 5 minutes walking distance from my Airbnb was Puerto Med restaurant. This is where I would say the world's best empanadas. The world's best empanadas, as well as delicious ceviche. Like, this ceviche was chef's kiss. The level of chemistry, the talent that Peruvians have when it comes to food hands down, this experience has been my best culinary experience. I'm going to continue to say that over and over again. The best culinary experience of my life. I am dreaming about some of these places. And then the third place that I want to make sure I highlight is Casa Tambo. Y'all, this place I thought was just absolutely gorgeous. It's like a museum. It's an art gallery. It's absolutely beautiful. And this one I think was in the historic district. It was probably closer to more of the touristy areas. So I did Barranco, and then I made it a point to stay at the Sheraton, close to the historic center. Casa Tambo is close to the historic center. And when I tell you, I would recommend for anyone, Casa Tambo was probably my favorite restaurant there. It's a little bit more pricey, still very affordable, but it was one of those places where I had the best wine, especially when it came to Peruvian or just wine in general. I ended up telling the server to surprise me. I really wanted the lomo saltado that is very popular there. Just the food in general was just so delicious. I had a lot of authentic Peruvian meals because I wanted to really give it a try and to say I indulge in Peruvian cuisine. And when I tell you all three of these restaurants will give you that. Oliver's, I felt like, was probably more catered to American, but with a little bit more spice. Puerto Med was a seafood Peruvian-based restaurant. Some of the best ceviche I've had, more of a mom and pop shop. And then you have Casa Tambo. You want that elevated feel. It is recommended to have a reservation, but if you don't have one, it's a-okay, because the first time I went, I had one. The second time I didn't, and I was able to get in with no issue. The beauties of being a solo traveler. The beauties. So those are my three. And then last but not least, I would recommend to download the Rappi App, R-A-P-P-I. So here in the States, we tend to use UberEats or DoorDash. Rappi is their delivery service. And I ordered sushi, I ordered groceries there, I ordered wine. I ended up ordering from the pharmacy because I needed stuff delivered. So they pretty much are all in one. The prices are actually very affordable. I probably use Rappi way too often, and I didn't have to pay those crazy astronomical delivery fees because it's reasonable, which I absolutely love. So if you're in Peru, I got you 3 amazing restaurants that you can try that fits anyone's budget or pocket in different areas within Lima, closer to the Barranco area. And then you also have the last one that I mentioned, which was in the historic district. But also make sure you download the Rappi app. But if you don't download the Rappi app, you can use the web version, because I've used the web version and you shouldn't have any issues. So I just wanted to make sure I point that out. Number 2. So let's talk about how and when did I know that I had traveler's diarrhea. So I decided to do an Airbnb experience to try street food. When I tell you the street food is absolutely phenomenal, I am not saying, I want to make sure I preface this, I am not saying that I got traveler's diarrhea from the street food. I was just eating, I was being reckless, and it's one of those things that right after it happened, I really felt like, oh my gosh, did I get food poisoning? No, my stomach wasn't just used to the food or the handling of the food, and I could have gotten it from anywhere. So I digressed in that situation. So I want to make sure I preface that. But I would recommend to try the street food and do a tour. So I did a wonderful tour. So we had ceviche. We had a lot of Peruvian options. I had a cow's heart. I had wonderful fruit. I had corn. I had the dessert. So it's like this cute little donut. I'll post it. The name of it, I can't think of it right now, but I'll make it a point to post the name. Absolutely chef's kiss. We had dumplings. Oh my gosh, the Asian influence there is absolutely delicious. The African influence is absolutely delicious. There's so much history when it comes to Peru. The potatoes, delicious. I am not a lover of corn. If you know me, I'm not a corn lover, but I made it a point to try it. And surprisingly, it was really good. And the number of corn that they have available and how they use corn, just understanding the history of ceviche, they used to ferment the corn, and it was the Spanish who brought lime. So that's how limes got introduced into ceviche. They use corn to create beer. Oh my gosh, y'all, if you ever get a chance to go to Peru, go. You will learn so much. And when it comes to food, the quality of food, how much they grow, what's available to them, you will be in awe and amazed. Again, so that you won't have traveler's diarrhea, especially when you go to countries in Latin America or Southeast Asia or countries outside of your normal hometown. I want to make sure you are prepared. Again, make sure you're taking probiotics, get that Imodium, electrolytes, and make sure you stay hydrated. I can't say it again and again for you. So let's talk about the story, y'all. So after the tour was over, I was in heaven from the street tour. The street tour ended. I went back to my hotel because I was staying at the Sheraton. And I ended up, I think that evening, I ended up getting Cinnabon, or I got Popeyes as a late dinner. And I ate, and I was tired because it was a long day, and I ended up going to bed. And I had to work the next morning anyways. I think I had to work the next morning. I think so. So either I had to work or it's a weekend. It was one of those two. And when I got home, I was fine. I went to bed, and when I got up the next morning, I had to rush to the toilet. I was on a marathon to the toilet. So I just thought I had an upset stomach. So I ended up staying in, ordered room service from the hotel. I ended up eating the breakfast because I got free breakfast at the hotel. I made it a point to try to stick with fruits. I stuck with a detox juice, water, bottled water, of course. And I wanted to ensure I was resting. So I put on a movie. I went back to sleep. I was getting up throughout the day, going back and forth. And when I tell you, there was a nice little waterfall. I know that's TMI, I'm so sorry, but there was a waterfall coming out of the exit hole of my body. The waist, it was there. Sorry, I'm gonna move past that. Moving forward to day 3, it was still happening, so I got a little nervous. So I ended up calling my sister, who's a nurse. Shout out to my sister. I gave her a call and I said, sis, I'm nervous. I think something's wrong. I've been doing some research. I think I might have traveler's diarrhea. Should I go to the hospital? And she asked me a couple of questions. She was like, no, you don't have a fever. She was like, do this. Go get some probiotics. Go see if you can get their version of Imodium or some diarrhea pills. She was like, and go get some electrolytes. Take that over the next couple of days and then you should be okay. And if you're not okay, give me a ring. She was like, I'll check on you again. I ended up getting the probiotics from the pharmacy, electrolytes from the pharmacy, and their version of Imodium from the pharmacy. It was super easy to find because if you've ever been to Latin America, I feel like on every corner, there's a pharmacy. Every corner. And so for me, right outside my door, there was a pharmacy my hotel, the Sheraton, is connected to a shopping center. So it had a movie theater. It had a plethora of restaurants that were listed. So I just got dressed and I went straight to the grocery store that had the pharmacy right there, and I got everything that I needed. So from there, this was probably day 6 or 7 when I finally got all this stuff. I talked to my sister on day 3. She was like, hey, try some electrolytes, figure that out. I was really hitting that toilet, and I finally got everything I needed. And by day 7, I was good. I felt like I lost a lot of weight. I felt super light. I was nervous at first, but when I tell you traveler's diarrhea is no joke, it's no joke. When I tell you My booty was very sore, but also I couldn't keep anything down. So if I was eating, I made it a point to, if I was eating, my belly wanted to dispose of it. If I felt like if I was smelling food, my body said no. If I walked downstairs and I was looking at food, I had to rush back up to my room. It was that bad when it came to my traveler's diarrhea. I was nervous. This was something that I've never encountered before. And so because I never encountered this, I didn't know what to expect. So for everyone that is watching this is your PSA. If you are going to be visiting a country that is different from your home country, be prepared. Probiotics. Bring Imodium. I would just probably start taking probiotics ahead of time. Have Imodium in your back pocket, making sure you're drinking your electrolytes and making sure you stay hydrated. I want to hear from y'all. Have you ever experienced traveler's diarrhea? Or do you know someone that experienced traveler's diarrhea? If so, leave a comment below because I want to hear about it. What did you do to assist? Did you use the same methods that I use? Or do you have a wonderful sister I have to help you when you get in trouble? Right? Or did you use good old TikTok, medical TikTok? Because I think we all go to Google or TikTok when things go wrong. I want to seriously say thank you for taking your time to watch my video. Please like, subscribe, and share, and be prepared to see more. If you want to know more or see more or hear a particular story, share it. Share the comments below. Y'all, I would love to chat with you. I love talking. I love connecting. But I want to make sure I'm sharing content that everyone loves. So if you want to hear something in particular, comment below, DM me through LifeWithRetta on IG or TikTok, or send me an email. I want to hear from you and let me know what you want to hear more of, and do you like these stories? Again, until next time, thank you. Love y'all.